Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Join me today for the Better Business Bureau here in Southern Wisconsin. We have Tiffany Schultz, friend of the show, and so much more. Tiffany, thank you for joining me. How are you doing today?
Great. Thanks for having me today.
We are talking about inflation, and I promised you that I would be good and not tell you why I'm upset about my chips being more expensive. But we want to kind of explain what's kind of going on here, and BBB's got some tips with dealing with higher prices. So we've got the insights here to help you maybe save a few or just reconsider your everyday thinking as we go through this inflation. So set us up here. Inflation, it's on the rise. Why?
We've all seen inflation go up in the last year or so. Everything from gas prices to housing prices to feeling the sticker shock at the grocery store. And we have some tips on how you can look at what you're spending and maybe avoid some of this inflation that we're seeing in the amount that we're seeing. So, we probably won't be able to control 100% of it, but we can help you look at your budget and make some changes so that it's not hurting as much when you go to the grocery store getting a tank of gas.
I think that's the thing is comes at such a weird time because we're coming out of the COVID thing. Everything has been disrupted. Everything is all over the place, playing part of a role in all of this. But if you can change some of your habits and focus on some things on the positive side, you will get through this. Everybody will get through it. And I like some of these tips. First one is know what you're spending. This whether we were inflation or not, this has existed for many, many, many moons.
Technology makes this super easy too. All you have to do is compare your credit card statements and your bank statements to this time of last year. What are some things that maybe you're spending on that you didn't spend on last year? Or what's a little bit more? Are you stopping for coffee every day? Can you cut that back to maybe 3 days a week, 2 days a week? Treat yourself. Get coffee from home instead of buying it from your favorite coffee shop. So those are just some of the things that you can look at. Are you out shopping more, going to the big box and just kind of browsing? Maybe, look at what you did last year. Were you spending that much? Compare it to 2020, because 2020, we were still on lockdown. And if you lived without it in 2020, you might still be able to live without it today. So just look at that budget, look at your spending and see where you can cut.
Yeah, that's not easy by no means. And I am the first person that you would not want to ask to do that. I am not always good on that, but you're right. Use the tools that are out there and you will be shocked on how much you are spending. And then hopefully you can find some savings there. This one's, I call this a sticky area, and I like this one. Stick to your vehicle. It's hard because you hear about that. Well, I could sell my used vehicle for what I got it for a long time ago, but then you got a flip side. You can't really go and buy a more expensive vehicle and afford that. So your tips are good here on this one.
We've all heard what's happening in the auto industry. We've driven past dealerships and they have very minimal inventory on their lots. It's likely better right now to keep the vehicle that you have and pay for the repairs than trade it in and get a new one. Cars are selling for above asking price, above sticker price right now. So it might be better just to invest in the repair than to go ahead and buy a new one. Also, if you're in a lease, this is a really good tip. If you're into a lease, maybe 2 years ago, you signed the paperwork, it might be best to look at your paperwork and possibly buy that vehicle, because that sales price, what you can buy it for, is going to be in that contract that you have with the dealership. And that price will maybe 2020 prices, 2019 prices, not today's prices. So it might be in your best interest to go ahead and buy that lease out rather than trading it in for a new lease at the end of lease. So really look carefully at your contract.
And I'd say be patient too. I would think with any of these things, buying a house, buying a car, whatever, be patient, because you're with the limited inventory. You can't probably walk out there like you used to and see something on the lot and be happy, and it's just not going to work that way necessarily. So good info there. Next one is getting smarter with the grocery shopping. This is a big one. This is where we've seen a lot of hits on different food items. What do you know on this front?
Meat and fish have gone up substantially at the grocery store, even some of the other items that we're shopping for in the aisle. I talked with you, Jeremy, about chips. You have to look for shrinkflation. And that's happened with many products too, where the price is the same, but the size of the package has gone down. So look at that. We're seeing that in certain areas just to keep the price consistent, but you're getting less. Also, it's a good idea to use coupons, stock up when you see a sale, shop at big boxes versus your local grocery store. Everybody likes to support their local grocery store. You can still do that for some of your favorite items, but some of those pantry items, price shop and buy in bulk. Buy in bulk is always a good thing too, especially if you have a wholesale membership to like Costco. That's a really good way to save some money too.
Yeah, you definitely can do some smart shopping. I like to mix my shopping up with sale items at my local, and then pick up the pantries, like you said, hit the bigger, but price compare too. Definitely do your research. I love when you say that too on the show. Do your research. That's where it's at for sure. Take advantage of gas price savings. Another good one. How in the world can you take on gas price savings? Tell us.
Some of those grocery stores do have fuel perks. So shop at a store that offers you those fuel perks for every $100. Sometimes you get 10 cents off a gallon. It really adds up. There's also some super cool apps out there that you can download to your phone. First of all, do your research, make sure it is a legitimate app that compares the gas prices in the area. So if you're 10 to 15 cent difference in going one way or the other, it might be worth it to go to a different gas station instead of your favorite one.
Yeah, that's really important. We were talking about that too, but we'll save that one for another day. Next one, negotiate better prices. So you got contracts in your cable TV, your gym member, whatever you got, you can always ask. It's not a bad thing to ask about those contracts.
Absolutely. It doesn't hurt to call up the customer service number on your credit card or maybe your streaming service, magazine subscription, and ask if there's a lower price available. But the key is to be nice. Don't demand anything, because the nicer you are, the rep is going to help you a little bit better if you're kind to them and you ask them versus demand a discount.
Yeah, and I think this next one will be your kind of wrap up one, is enjoy what you already have. Boy, is that hard to think about some days during everything that's going on.
We are so involved in so many different things in our life, and money buys happiness, right? It doesn't always buy happiness though. Instead of taking that vacation, maybe do a staycation and enjoy the local things around your area, or instead of starting a new project, work on a project that you already have going. So a lot of things to enjoy, the simple things in life. You can do an up north Wisconsin vacation and enjoy the lakes versus to go to the ocean and be gone a week. So lots of things that you can do around here and spend your money locally and save a few bucks.
Yeah, not a bad idea. All right, Tiffany, if people want to learn more on a good way, I mean, there's a little bit of everything in here. I think of every press release I've ever read is probably in here, a piece of it. So if people want to learn more about what we talked about today or other great information, where can they find that?
Head on over to bbb.org. You can click on our news tab and read about these budgeting tips and more.
All right, Tiffany, thank you so much for the help. I feel better about inflation now.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, maybe maybe a little bit. Yeah, we appreciate Tiffany. We'll get her back here next month with some more great topics. And again, check out bbb.org for more information. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.